Welcome to the volunteer training video for the Otter Project's Marine Protected Area Watch program. Thank you for your interest and stewardship for your oceans. The mission of the Otter Project is to promote the rapid recovery of California sea otters through science-based policy and advocacy. The MPA Watch program supports the mission by providing habitat protection for sea otters. The Monterey Coastkeeper, a program of the Otter Project, strives to protect our watersheds and coastal ocean for the benefit of wildlife and humans alike. As you may know, ocean health influences the livelihoods and health of humans. Seaweed and phytoplankton provide 70% of our oxygen. In California alone, it is estimated that coastal tourism is the largest ocean industry, contributing $9.9 billion to the California economy. The world's fisheries employ 200 million people. 1 billion people depend on seafood as their primary source of protein, yet 70% of the world's fisheries are overfished. And the marine coastal waters of California's Central Coast region are among the most biologically productive in the world. This area provides habitat for thousands of species. The good news is that oceans have the ability to recover. California has established a network of marine protected areas. These are set-aside marine or estuary areas designed to protect or conserve marine life and habitat. Similar to national parks and forests on land, marine protected areas protect habitat and increase health, productivity, and resilience of ocean ecosystems. MPAs were designated after the Marine Life Protection Act of 1999. The Marine Life Protection Act was a stakeholder-driven process that used the best readily available science to design a network of MPAs that spans the entire California coast. The purpose of this network is to conserve key marine habitats, allow marine life to thrive, preserve natural diversity, help rebuild depleted populations, and offer recreational, research, and economic opportunities. Under the Marine Life Protection Act, California took a regional approach to the design and implementation of MPAs along its 1,100-mile coastline. California divided the state into 5 regions: the North Coast, the North Central Coast, the Central Coast, which includes the Otter Project, the South Coast, and the San Francisco Bay. These regions have collaborated to create a standardized statewide program for MPA Watch. There are several different levels of protection for MPAs. Some do not allow any take whatsoever. These are called state marine reserves. State marine parks may allow recreational take or limit take in some way, but do not allow commercial take. State marine conservation areas may limit recreation and/or commercial take to protect a specific resource or habitat. The Otter Project monitors 7 MPA sites and 5 control sites from Bean Hollow in San Mateo County down to Point Conception in San Luis Obispo County. Control sites are not under the restrictions that many MPAs have. By choosing to monitor inside as well as outside MPAs on the Central Coast, we can compare data to help aid in the best management choices for the future of MPAs. Research of MPAs shows that these areas are beneficial to the health of the oceans. MPAs provide refuge and protection for the fisheries, increase populations and biodiversity of species, decrease overfishing, and provide undisturbed habitats that can help aid in decision-making surrounding tourist, residential, and industrial coastal developments. This image shows the basic idea of MPAs. The left side shows a thriving sanctuary for fish as fish size, density, biomass, and richness increase. This helps increase resilience to environmental change and can provide spillover of species into non-MPA areas. The adjacent areas will replenish and provide livelihoods for fisher people and sea-based industry. MPAs secure food and livelihood for people while conserving critical habitat and species. MPAs could not work without proper monitoring and management. MPA Watch trains volunteers to observe and collect unbiased data on coastal and marine resource use. Volunteers will be trained to collect valuable data on ocean users and their activities, such as surfing, kayaking, fishing, boating, and more. MPA Watch volunteers walk specific sections of the coastline for 1 hour and collect this data. Volunteers learn about their coastlines, spread knowledge, and enter their raw data into the statewide database. The following organizations have an MPA Watch program. For more information, please visit www.mpawatch.org. Citizen science is research conducted by trained volunteers, the general public, that are interested in science monitoring and conservation of the marine environment. You do not need any scientific background to collect data for these surveys. Not only do local volunteers learn about their coastal environment and become citizen scientists and stewards of the area, but they generate quantities of monitoring data that would not be possible under the current state budget. MPA Watch data will complement data collected by other monitoring groups, resource managers, scientists, and the Department of Fish and Wildlife. This data will help us to understand how MPAs are functioning, as well as where there may be a need for enhanced education and outreach, signage, law enforcement, and more. For the Otter Project, we require that volunteers are 18 years or older, have access to reliable transportation to the survey sites, complete 8 surveys per month, commit to volunteering for 3 months, insert data within 48 hours at www.mpawatch.org, and take care of the loaned equipment and return it when you're finished using it. With the Otter Project, you will survey in one of 3 areas. In Santa Cruz, we have Natural Bridges and its control site Coastal Bluffs, Año Nuevo and its control site Bean Hollow. In Monterey, we have 5 sites, including Lovers Point MPA, Asilomar MPA, 17 Mile, which is a control site along 17 Mile Drive, Point Lobos MPA, and another control site called Malpaso, which is just south of Point Lobos, headed towards Big Sur. In San Luis Obispo, we have 3 sites. We've got Cambria, which is an MPA, Point Bouchon, which is an MPA, and its control site Montaña de Oro. Each survey has a monitoring protocol that gives detailed instructions on how to survey that site. Each survey also takes approximately 1 hour, not including travel time. Volunteers are instructed to only survey in one direction and do not count what they have already passed. Volunteers also only record activities in or abutting the water, on sandy beaches, intertidal rocky areas, or offshore. Do not record activity on adjacent trails, roads, or paths. Only mark activity the person is actively engaging in. Keep in mind that 0 is a very important number. If there is no activity, please mark 0. And always value safety over anything. Do not compromise your safety in order to stick to a monitoring protocol. Here is an example of the standardized statewide data sheet. Volunteers use this data sheet to tally what they see as they walk through the survey site. Please fill out a separate data sheet for each entry. During your field training, your volunteer manager will teach you more about how exactly to log this data. Here is an example of a monitoring protocol. Protocols are essential for volunteers doing a survey for the first time. Protocols show prohibited and permitted uses, have a map of the survey site, and have a general description of the area. The rest of the protocol details areas where you will survey, whether you're walking a route or driving and scanning the beach. The protocol also has GPS points that will help guide you to the correct areas for your survey. Activities are generally grouped into 4 different categories: onshore, offshore, non-consumptive, and consumptive. Here we have some examples of onshore activities, including beach recreation, wildlife watching, tide pooling, domestic animals on leash, and a couple examples of more beach recreation. Here we have a few examples of offshore activities, including stand-up paddleboarding, swimming, and board sports. Here we have a few examples of consumptive activities, including hand collection, and various fishing attributes, including shore-based, boat fishing, hook and line, net, and whether they are active or inactive. And here are a few examples of non-consumptive activities, including snorkeling, diving, more beach recreation, kayaking or paddle sports, and more beach recreation. If you see a possible illegal activity, please stay safe or move to a safe area and do not confront the person. Call 911 if it is a dangerous or emergency situation. You have the option to call CalTip. CalTip is an anonymous witness program that encourages the public to report poachers and polluters. However, you are not volunteering to enforce rules. You are objectively collecting data on activities. It is up to you if you decide to call CalTip. As a volunteer, you may go out to survey when your schedule permits. Please log on to the Zoho calendar and sign up for a time slot and location so you do not overlap surveys with another volunteer. It is best to span out your surveys, half on weekdays, half on weekends, half in the morning, and half in the afternoon. For more information on how to sign up on the calendar, contact your volunteer manager or see the instructions located on the Meetup webpage. When you go out to survey, the following items are required: your data sheet, a watch, a pen or pencil, and binoculars. It is highly recommended that you bring certain items like a clipboard, the monitoring protocol, water, a hat, and other personal accessories. Your volunteer manager will provide you with the username and password for the MPA Watch database. When you're finished with your survey, please submit data on this site within 48 hours. For instructions on how to enter data, consult your volunteer manager or the instructions located on the Meetup page. And again, thank you for volunteering and becoming a steward of your oceans. Please contact your volunteer manager to set up a time for a field training or if you have any questions.